Humber really encouraged me to trust in myself, that if I put the work in and the study time in, and if I got together with my peers in the program, I would become what I wanted to be, which was a confident, competent paramedic. And that mindset of always wanting to train and get better that Humber taught me and instilled in me is something that served me well throughout my entire career. One of the challenges of wanting to be a paramedic is not knowing if you have the capability of being a paramedic and how you'll really respond when the pressure's put on you. My first call as a paramedic student, so I was still a Humber student riding along with paramedics for experience, was the bombing of the Litton Systems plant here in Etobicoke, just down Highway 27. And I remember arriving on the scene, even responding to the scene, feeling like it was just so surreal, all the flashing lights, the fact that I was now on the scene of a major incident, and taking what little I knew already about the work, but feeling like I was now part of that field and part of that profession. That was a real challenge, and that was the first moment that I recognized the capacity in me to become a paramedic. It's one thing to develop the skills and the knowledge about how to manage a call or an incident. It's another thing entirely to be on the scene and be the person that people are looking to. Patients, their families, bystanders, other allied services, they all look to you to guide them in how they should be responding or reacting to the situation. It's something you can only learn firsthand by doing it. The first time you're on a call, the 10th time, 100th time, 1000th time you're on that call. Those are all experiences that teach you to become a better paramedic, and no one can teach you that in the classroom. The biggest quality, maybe challenge of being a paramedic is the resiliency factor. And no one can teach you resiliency. Resilience is something you develop over time. It's a recognition that there will be difficult days, there will be fun moments, there'll be laughs, and there'll be hardships. And recovering from those hardships is what defines you as a paramedic. The job of a tactical paramedic is to accompany police on a tactical call. Tactical call really means, if you think of a SWAT team, think of special weapons and tactics team, it usually means that there's a high-risk situation, and a tactical paramedic is trained to go downrange on a high-risk situation with the police and respond to a particular call. In sheer numbers, there are still very few tactical medics. I was with the Ontario Provincial Police, a 5,000-person police force, and at the time there were only 16 tactical medics with the OPP. Being a tactical paramedic was the highlight of my career. It was arguably the most physically demanding and even mentally challenging. But because of the preparation, because of the rewards, and because of what the role meant to others, it was probably the most rewarding. CBRNE, or Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Nuclear, and Explosives, is a subspecialty of tactical paramedicine, or of tactical anything really. So in paramedicine, there's special operations, and within special operations, there's different divisions. And CBRNE medics are those medics who respond with CBRNE teams, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosives response teams, to mitigate threats involving those agents. So chemical weapons threats or biological weapons threats, nuclear incidents at power plants, those types of incidents. So CBRNE medics are trained to respond to and mitigate those types of situations. EMAT, or the Ontario Emergency Medical Assistance Team, is the province of Ontario's medical disaster response team and incident management, all hazard incident management team. It's a resource that the province has had for more than 20 years, and I was privileged to be the program manager and commander of the team. The team is a specialized team that gets deployed by the Government of Ontario when there is a challenge or a threat to the health system of Ontario. The resources of the team help to not only mitigate emergencies, but supply and enhance the capacity of the healthcare system to respond to any given emergency. I had the privilege of being the emergency medical manager during the Toronto 2015 Pan and Parapan Am Games. And that was a unique challenge. I had come off my career of being a paramedic, and now I was thrust into a role of assisting or helping to build a games, a major regional sporting games for Toronto, for Ontario. My role as the emergency medical manager was to ensure that there were paramedics scheduled at every venue, every event during the Toronto 2015 Pan and Parapan Am Games. Sometimes it's nice to be recognized for the work you do. I was privileged in being awarded the ACE Award from the province of Ontario for my role in emergency management. And it's a good validation from your peers that you've done something notable. I was also awarded the Governor General of Canada EMS Exemplary Service Medal. The most rewarding part of my career as a paramedic really was having helped so many thousands of people along the way. You know, there are many highlights that stand out, career accomplishments, particular calls, but overall, as a body of work, it's knowing that I've helped thousands and thousands of patients on their hardest day. That to me has always been the most rewarding moment of any day and truly of my entire career. Writing is something I was always interested in. For some reason, I was always fascinated by books on my dad's shelves and seeing the names of authors on the spines of books. And I always imagined one day that my name would be on the spine of some book somewhere. So that was kind of something I carried with me from childhood, but I didn't really begin writing until later in life. And I began writing a column for a magazine called Medic Steve's Corner, which really gave me the bug and the belief that I could in fact write something longer than, you know, a paragraph or two or an ambulance call report. I carried that interest forward and would write while I was on shift. So I'd bring my computer to work, and in my downtime, I would tap away at the keyboard, hoping to create a story that maybe someday someone would want to read. That led me to finish my first novel, and subsequently, I found an agent, and I've been fortunate that I've now had 2 novels published and one that'll be published in the fall. I write a thriller series called the Special Agent Alexander Martel series about Special Agent Alex Martel, former combat medic turned FBI agent turned CIA agent chasing down bad guys across Europe. So really, I grew up reading novels by Tom Clancy and Robert Ludlum through the 80s and 90s and got a real bug for spy fiction. My background as a paramedic and as a tactical medic really helped inform the stories. I was never a shoot-'em-up bad guy kind of spy. I was just a paramedic, but I learned a lot on the job. I read a lot on the job, and that helped inform the development of my character, Special Agent Alexander Martel. I was fortunate that Perfect Shot, my debut novel, was recognized as a finalist for 3 major literary awards. The International Thriller Writers, the Crime Writers of Canada, and Rakuten Kobo all named it a debut novel of the year finalist. And that was very rewarding to me obviously as a new writer. Everything I've achieved in my career, in my multiple careers, have been against the odds. All the odds have been always stacked against me. Humber taught me really never to worry about the odds. Just, if there's something you want, go after it. If you're passionate, just go out and do it. Steve Urszenyi, Paramedic Program, 1983. Full-time author, former paramedic, tactical paramedic. Thanks for listening. Good luck.